Liam, your first taste of FA Cup as a manager, and it probably had quite a lot of ingredients of the FA Cup, lower league side. You went 1-0 up. What's your assessment of the game overall?
I think I have to say, first half was okay. I thought we had periods where we controlled it, and again, I think I have to give a lot of credit to Stevenage how they set up in terms of the block. Any team that comes and does that and works as hard as they did, it's always going to be difficult. So I thought first half was just okay. I actually was really pleased with the first 20 minutes at the start of the second half. We made a tweak at half time, which I thought helped. I thought the guys delivered it quite well in terms of actually we went from having possession kind of around the halfway line to a lot of possession on the edge of their box. Probably maybe didn't take enough risks or brave enough to try and create something, but I think what we then didn't do is actually deal with their changes. They made two changes and changed system, and ultimately within 5 minutes we're 2-1 down. So it goes from having complete control of the game, being on top, to then 5 minutes where you give away some poor goals like we did, and you're chasing the game. So probably a feeling of frustration, but also actually one where we're maybe a little relieved that we're still in it.
That period in the second half, all that was missing really was that chance and that goal, which would have almost certainly taken the game away from them. Were you just slightly disappointed in obviously you had so much possession but didn't actually create a huge amount of chances in that time?
Yeah, you're never going to create loads, although you've got loads of possession. When they've got 8-9 players, 10 at times in front of right in front of the goal centrally, is always going to be difficult. It's one for us to look at, one for us to speak about. We've not come up against such an extreme low block. We played obviously against the block this year, but not that low. So I think it's about encouraging the players to be braver, to take more risks, to play with disguise, to try things, and then making sure that we're set up. If we do turn it over, the rest defence is ready to land on the second ball and make sure that we keep attacking. And I have to say I thought we did that for 15-20 minutes. It was just a case of have we got the level of creativity to create something. When they made the changes, obviously the next 5 minutes was probably the biggest frustration.
Waters, with his injury, he's obviously had a slower start, but he's now starting to get in amongst the goals, and he took that one like I suppose you'd expect a striker too.
Yeah, moment of real good quality. The ball from Matty, the run, the finish, and again I just said it to the guys afterwards. We have to work really hard to create and score our goals. We have to show and produce moments of real high quality, which the guys have got. What you then don't want to do is go and give away goals, not make the opposition work for it. So that's the game. It's the frustration for us probably as a staff, looking at the 1 minute we're producing 8 out of 10 with a goal, and then the next minute it's a 4 out of 10 with the one we concede. So, but look, we have to learn from it. It's not been a straightforward week without making excuses for the guys. It's not been a straightforward week in terms of the prep and everything that they've had to put up with. So I have to say, attitude application I was pleased with. It was then ultimately 5 minutes of the game which tarnishes obviously the result and our thoughts on it.
Of course, you've got a replay now, another game, but by then maybe back to a full complement, because obviously the bench was extremely young today.
Yeah, obviously we've got some people back this week, credit to the medical staff and everybody in terms of the discipline they've shown, the protocols we've followed to make sure that it doesn't spread within camp. So again, credit to them guys, and then it's a case of obviously more games thick and fast, and making sure that everybody's prepared, everybody's in the best position possible to step in and deliver when they're asked to. And we'll go away, we'll learn. As I say, most weeks we'll go away, we'll reflect on it, and the challenge is now for us to make sure that we don't keep making the same mistakes and that we progress and get better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You said yesterday that it's form goes out the window. It was certainly the case, wasn't it, today?
Yeah, and I've only and actually told me a few of the other results. I think there's a few across the board that potential surprises. So that's the beauty of the FA Cup. Like I say, it's almost no win for us today and no lose for them. Going into it. So I have to take my hat off to them in terms of how hard they worked, how well they were set up. So it was a really difficult game today. It's, like I say, when you get yourself ahead, what you make sure is the game finishes 1-0 and you don't let them back in.
Obviously, you have to make the 4 changes, and as Paul mentioned, the significant changes on the bench. How much disruption has that caused you in the last week?
A tiny bit in training, but I have to say that the guys, I was really excited by the team we had out, and like I say, for 90% of the game, I was really pleased with certain aspects of it. I think it was, just that crazy 5-10 minute period where we let them back in. So the week, the preparation was fine. The guys have trained really well this week. They went into the game in good spirits, quite clear on the plan, and I have to say, for large amounts of it, they executed it. Like I say, you 1-0 up. See the game out.
You mentioned the deep block that they put on you. That's yet another thing that you guys are going to have to learn to overcome, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think that expect it. More times in the coming months, and I think it's a case of working to beat it, making sure. I think what the opposition are doing is waiting for you to make them mistakes, or they're waiting for you to give them that opportunity to go and counter-attack and try and hurt you that way, or a set piece. So it's about us then, being a little bit streetwise and being smart not to make sure that doesn't happen. So like I say, I thought they had a few dangerous counter-attacks first half, but then start of the second half, what we spoke about half time, I thought the guys executed it for 20-25 minutes really well, and then obviously them getting back in it. But that's the game. We have to live, we have to learn, we have to move on.
And just briefly, we're seeing Ethan Robson doing his warm down here. It must be nice to have him back and available again.
Yeah, he's close, so yeah, he'll get a solid week training next week, which is obviously good in terms of the next 2 weeks. Well, the next week we've got a full week training now. So now he's back. He's obviously involved. It'd be good to build him back up.
Useful for there to be a whole week free after this one?
Say again, sir?
Is it useful for there to be a whole week after this one to get players back into the fold?
Yeah, definitely. I think it allows us to gradually reintegrate people into training. I think if you had another Tuesday game, it'd be quite difficult in terms of just the sheer volume of players that we have available. So it'd be good to have them guys back. And first and foremost, I think when we're talking around it, people's health's priority. So we have to make sure that when they do come back, they're okay and we look after them.
Affected by the absence, okay?
Say again, sir.
Are the people who are affected by the absence okay?
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, they're heading in the right direction. So like I said, we only had the 2 cases. The rest was just protocol to make sure that we looked after people and we kept it out, so people are okay.
There was a good chance for Max Waters in the opening minute. How much of a boost would that have been had that been able to go in inside the first minute? Yeah,
of course. I think momentum's massive, and I have to say, go back to Doncaster and saying we won't make the same mistake that we did in the first 5-10 minutes. And I think it's one thing we've spoken about as a group, and we've got a lot better at. If you look at the start of games, we've been starting on the front foot. We've been actually playing in their half. Creating chances like that. So yeah, if it would have gone in, I think it potentially changes what they have to do as well.